Hello everyone, welcome to KITCH MORE. We are now in Quarter 3, Week 4 of English 7 of the Matatag Curriculum. In today's lesson, we'll explore the topics about journalistic text, diction and writing style in journalistic articles, and quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing words and statements. So if you're ready, let's jump into our first topic. Our lesson begins with a deeper look into journalistic text. Journalistic texts are part of our everyday lives, whether we encounter them on TV, in newspaper, or online. But what exactly is a journalistic text? Let's move to the next slide to define it clearly. What is journalistic text? It is a specific type of journalistic writing that delivers factual and timely information about recent events. It is the content that appears in news stories or articles. It is a type of writing that tells us about events happening around us. It gives important details like who was involved, what happened, when and where it happened, why it happened, and how it happened. It is clear, simple, and straight to the point so readers can quickly understand. Now let's learn what makes journalistic text special. Journalistic texts are unique because they focus on answering the 5 W's and H that stand for who, what, when, where, why, and how. These questions help make sure the reader knows everything important about the story. They are also written in a clear, simple way without extra opinions. This is what makes journalistic writing easy to read and understand. The first question journalists ask is who. This identifies the people involved in the story. For example, if we're talking about a local event, we might ask, who is the mayor of the city? Knowing the who helps us understand who is affected or responsible in the story. Next, we ask what. This tells us what happened in the story. It describes the event, action, or topic. For example, we might ask, what happened during the protest? This question helps explain the main idea of the story. Now let's look at the where. The question where tells us the location of the event or action. It answers where something took place. For example, where did the fire break out? Knowing the where helps readers picture the story better. So let's move on to the when. When tells us the time or date of the event. It answers questions like, when did the storm hit the city? Knowing the time helps us understand the timeline of the story. Next, we'll talk about the why. Why explains the reason or cause behind an event. It helps us understand why something happened. For example, why did the government approve the new policy? The why gives readers the background to the story. Finally, let's talk about the how. This tells us the manner or process of how something happened. For example, how did the firefighters manage to control the blaze? The how gives details about the actions or steps taken. Let's now talk about the features of journalistic text. First, journalistic texts emphasize timeliness, relevance, and accuracy. Journalistic texts are important because they provide timely, relevant, and accurate information. This means the news should be about recent events, important to the readers, and free from mistakes. For example, people need the latest updates during a storm or election. Accuracy builds trust, and relevance keeps readers interested. The next feature is, it is written in a neutral tone without personal opinions or interpretations. Journalistic texts are written in a neutral tone. This means the writer doesn't add their personal feelings or opinions. The goal is to present facts so readers can form their own thoughts. For example, a journalist should report what happened, not how they feel about it. The last feature that we will tackle is journalistic text follows the inverted pyramid structure, prioritizing essential facts. Journalistic texts use the inverted pyramid structure. This means the most important details come first, followed by other most important or the less important ones, and the other details. For example, in a news story about a fire, the first paragraph will tell you where and when it happened, who was involved, and what caused it. The less important details, like minor damages, come later. Now that we know how journalistic texts organize information, let's talk about another important element of writing news, that is diction and writing style. These are about choosing the right words and using a clear, professional tone to communicate the news effectively. Let's take a closer look at diction in journalistic articles. Diction plays a big role in how news is written. It refers to the words a journalist chooses to use in their article. Choosing the right words can make the news clear, accurate, and interesting to readers. Let's see why diction is so important in journalism. Diction, or the choice of words, is very important in journalism for several reasons. First, it establishes tone. The words a journalist uses help set the mood or tone of the article. For example, using strong words can create a serious tone, while casual words can make the writing feel more relaxed. Second, it enhances clarity and accuracy. Choosing the right words makes the story clear and easy to understand. It also helps prevent confusion and make sure the facts are reported correctly. And the last one, it appeals to the target audience. The language should match the readers. If the audience is young people, the tone may be casual. If the audience is professionals, the tone may be more formal. Here are two examples of how diction can change the tone and meaning. Under casual, we have, kids are starving. For formal, it will be like this. Children are experiencing severe malnutrition. As you can see, the second example is more precise and serious, which is often needed in journalism. Let's now explore about writing style in journalistic articles. What is writing style? Writing style is the way journalists craft their articles to communicate information clearly, effectively, and engagingly. It ensures that the audience understands the message without confusion or misinterpretation. Writing style refers to the way words and sentences are put together to form a piece of writing. It is essentially the way words and sentences are arranged to convey a message. In journalism, the writing style is crucial for clear, concise, and effective communication. There are three key aspects to writing style that you should keep in mind. And these three key aspects to writing style are, first, simplicity, second, precision, and the third one is brevity. So let's tackle them one by one. First, we have simplicity, using easy to understand words. Let's have the complex version. Precipitation levels have escalated significantly, resulting in an inundation of the residential area. And we have the simple version. Heavy rain flooded the neighborhood. The simple version uses easy to understand words like heavy rain and flooded instead of technical terms like precipitation levels and inundation. This makes the message clearer and accessible to a broader audience. The second one is precision, being exact in your description. We have here a vague version. Many people attended the rally. The precise version is like this. Over 5,000 people gathered at the rally in front of City Hall on Saturday. The precise version provides exact details: the number of attendees, which is over 5,000, the location, which is the City Hall, and the day, which is Saturday. This ensures readers have accurate information, making the article more credible and informative. Next is brevity, keeping sentences short and to the point. For example, wordy version. The committee members convened a meeting on Thursday afternoon in order to discuss and deliberate on the various proposals that were submitted by the community. Concise version. The committee met Thursday to discuss community proposals. The concise version eliminates unnecessary words and phrases, delivering the same information in fewer words while maintaining clarity and impact. Now that we understand the importance of writing style in journalism, we'll move on to another important aspect of writing: using other people's words. Journalists often need to include information from different sources in their articles, but there are rules for how to do this. Let's talk about quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing. Journalists use these techniques to share what others have said while keeping the article clear and precise. When you're writing about an event, you might want to include what others have said. For example, if someone talks about their favorite indigenous game, you can quote them directly or paraphrase what they said. Using quotes and paraphrases allows you to share their thoughts while still keeping your article simple and true to the facts. Let's talk about how to do this well. Let's have quoting. Quoting is repeating exactly what someone said. We use quotation marks to enclose the exact words of a speaker or writer. And don't forget to always credit the source of the quote to maintain credibility and avoid plagiarism. Let's tackle an example of quoting. Here you can see an example which is an incorrect one. Mabuhay ang Pilipinong manlalaro, the Philippine president proudly expressed. What's wrong with this? In this case, the quotation is missing quotation marks. Without the marks, it's unclear whether this is a direct quote or paraphrasing, and that can lead to confusion or potential plagiarism. So, what are we going to do? Look at this example. This is the correct version, which is, it says here, Mabuhay ang Pilipinong manlalaro, the Philippine president proudly expressed in his welcome address during the opening of the IP Games. This is a correct way of quoting, as the president's words are enclosed in quotation marks and the source is properly identified. Now let's have paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is when you restate someone's ideas using your own words while keeping the original meaning intact. Paraphrasing helps simplify complex ideas for easier understanding. Always cite the source to avoid plagiarism. It is an important skill to paraphrase because it allows you to express someone else's thoughts in a clearer or more concise way without changing the message. However, just don't forget, even when paraphrasing, it's essential to give credit to the source of the original idea. Let's now take up the example. We have here the original statement. We must work together to help our community. And the paraphrase for that is, we should unite to support our community. Both sentences convey the same message, but the paraphrase rewords it in a simple way. Let's now talk about the characteristics of paraphrasing. First, we have rewritten using your own words. In paraphrasing, you rewrite the original statement using your own words. For example, in the original, global warming is caused primarily by human activities such as burning fossil fuels and deforestation. If we paraphrase that, it will be like this. Human actions, like cutting down forests and using fossil fuels, are the main contributors to climate change. As you can see in the paraphrase, the phrasing may be different from the original, but the meaning remains the same. Next is meaning remains the same. It means that the essence of the idea does not change, but it is expressed differently. We have original, for example. Exercise is essential for maintaining a healthy lifestyle because it improves physical and mental well-being. If we paraphrase that, it will be like this. Regular physical activity is crucial for a healthy life as it enhances both body and mind health. As you can see, the idea didn't change, but they are expressed in a different way or manner. Next, we have cite the source. Don't forget that even when you paraphrase, always give credit to the original author or speaker. So for this example, we have the original statement from a study. The study concluded that mindfulness meditation can significantly reduce stress levels. So if we paraphrase that, we have to include or we have to cite the source like this. According to the research, practicing mindfulness meditation greatly lowers stress levels. So you have there the source, Smith et al. 2020. Next is similar length. A paraphrased sentence is typically similar in length to the original, though it may sometimes be shorter or longer depending on how much explanation is needed. For example, in the original, children who read regularly perform better academically and develop stronger language skills. If we paraphrase that, it will be like this. Kids who consistently engage in reading tend to excel in school and build better language abilities. So as you can see, the original and the paraphrase obviously shows that they are of similar length. Next, let's proceed to the last one, which is summarizing. Summarizing involves condensing a large amount of information into a shorter version, focusing only on the main points. A summary should focus on the essential points or the main idea. This summary should be shorter than the original content. And cite the source when necessary, especially when summarizing a longer or specific piece of information. In journalism, summarizing is helpful when you need to provide an overview of a larger story or set of information without getting bogged down in every detail. Let's take following example. In the original version of this statement, it says, "The game was long and had several breaks, and many teams participated from different regions across the country." If we summarize that, it will be like this. Many teams from across the country participated in the long game. Here, the summary condenses the original idea into a much shorter form, leaving out the details and focusing on the core message. Now let's summarize the differences among quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing. So as you can see, you have here quoting uses exact words from the original source, and these are placed in quotation marks. Paraphrasing involves restating ideas in your own words while keeping the meaning intact. And summarizing condenses the information to its most important points, often making it much shorter than the original. Each technique serves a different purpose depending on what you need to convey and how you want to present the information. To wrap up, let's take a quick review of what we have covered. So we learned today about journalistic texts, diction and writing style in journalistic articles, and quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing words and statements. Thank you for watching this lesson on journalistic writing techniques. Be sure to like and subscribe for more educational content. I hope you found these tips helpful in improving your writing skills. Stay tuned for more lessons. See you in the next video. Bye!